of free art apps out there that are purely for drawing and not teaching you. They're just like a blank canvas thing you could draw on. One I used to use a lot was Autodesk Sketchbook, but there's loads of free ones out there that you can use to draw on, which give you a lot more options with blending modes and layers and brushes and all that sort of thing. But honestly, for what this is, I was surprised at how well it was doing in terms of actually letting you draw properly. And I like that after the fact it has this free draw mode. I then got given a lesson pass screen, giving me stats such as my time, my smoothness. I have no idea what first try means. But then it also gives you a score for accuracy, I guess, how accurate you are to it. And like I said earlier, I got punished on that bit that I tried to experiment with. And I don't ever think you should be punished for experimenting. Part of growing your art style is experimenting. It is trying things that you wouldn't usually do and seeing if you like it or not, or seeing if it'll work. So I don't like being punished for that. But all in all, my first impression, it's not bad. Upon continuing, I got given my 1-day streak, which is a good way to encourage you to keep going. And then here we go again. It's another subscription. I'm getting Simply Draw flashbacks right now. Oh dear. I mean, hopefully we can do more here than we can Simply Draw while on a free plan, so we'll have to see.
12 seconds later.
I might have to take that back because a lot of these have a little crown saying that they're not for free, so looks like we're not going to be doing much. I have to go do the only other free piece of art here, which is the shrimp. So I go to the shrimp, start making my line, and then I notice another line is being drawn that I'm not doing. And at first I thought maybe it was my hand touching the screen, that maybe my hand made a line by accident, but I had my drawing glove on, so that shouldn't be possible. And then I realised this was the multiplayer part. This was where I had another player drawing alongside me that I could interact with, I could say hello to, that is not a real person, that's a bot. That's not a real person, no way. No, I'm sorry, that is a bot. Yeah, they're like trying to make it look like it's a real person, but like, it's too smooth. It's like the mistakes and the shakiness feels calculated with how it's going. Because like I can be shaky, but look at the difference in how I'm doing this as a human, that I am following the curves. I'm not just doing this. I mean, maybe a person would do that, but the bot was doing it like this and deliberately being all over the place, you know, which is not how a person would do it, I don't think. I mean, it looks too intentionally messy to be a real person. Probably a bot that deliberately draws sort of shakily and poorly so that you feel better about yourself, which I guess, you know, human psychology, that would work. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'd rather just not have the bots, you know? I just feel like the way that was moving, it was a bot for sure.
Turn complex information into actionable insights with Notebook LM.
Oh, and an advert. Okay. So part of the free plan is obviously to get adverts. You know, I'm fine with apps having adverts. They need to make their money somehow. And if you're on a free plan, then getting adverts is usually the norm. So that's all right. As long as the adverts aren't constant, then I'm fine with it. Afterwards, I actually went back to the shrimp just to see if my theory of it being a bot was correct. Because if it started doing exactly the same movements as it did before, then it was definitely a bot. This time it was actually different though. However, this one was even more egregious. It was just way too smooth and mechanical with its movements, and you could tell that every mistake was just planned out. I mean, especially when it goes into that narrow bit of the shape, how quickly it suddenly goes, but how sort of accurate it is at the same time. Almost like it's a printer. This is definitely a bot. It is not a real person. So there is literally nothing else I can do. The rest of this is all paid. This is all, it's Simply Draw all over again. You can do literally 1 or 2 things and then you have to pay. That's just ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So we are once again at that point where I cannot do anything unless I pay and get their membership thing. So I guess once again, we're going to be doing a free trial, aren't we? Wait, where do I actually get the free trial? While fumbling around searching for the free trial, I came across another piece of art that I could do for free, after watching an advert of course. So I decided to give this one a go as well. And it's pretty much more of the same, just fill in the area that it shows you with the colour that it gives you, using the brush that it gives you. It's very linear. But this one also had something that really annoyed me. Hello, I've done that step? But I've done that, I've just done that step. Do I need to do more here? Oh, there's some underneath that I could never have seen that needed to, and look, it's made my bar go down now. Well, that's ridiculous. So it wasn't completing it because there was some below this layer here that I couldn't have seen. But because I couldn't see, I then overfilled it, which is now giving me a bit of red bar. So I've lost points because of something that wasn't my own fault. That's dumb, that's dumb. Oh, for crying out loud, why does it keep doing that? Yippee! I moved on and came across a fairly interesting advert.
Why have I never heard of this app before? This is called ColourPop. One day I was like, why is my kid so quiet? and she was in the living room coloring, and this is the reason why. And she just loves to spend her time coloring, y'all. I love that it also has kid-friendly drawings. Sometimes she spends so much time on it, I have to check if she's still here.
I had to let that one play out because it was making me laugh. What the hell was that? But also the fact that it's got AI in the title immediately turns me off. But hey, maybe this is one we can try out. If you guys want me to try this one out, then let me know in the comments, I guess. Oh god. After laughing at the ridiculous AI voice on that advert, I continued to try find a free trial when I found you could actually make yourself a blank canvas, like it was an actual drawing app. And I found you could upload your own picture to actually, use that to learn how to draw the picture that you upload. I thought that's really cool until I got to it and it was just tracing. It just lets you trace. I mean, there was an option for making a lesson out of your photo, but that's a paid one and this is the free one, and the free one is literally just put your picture on the canvas, put it on a lower opacity and trace it. And this isn't going to help you learn anything really. I mean, it can sometimes, but there are better ways to learn. So I quickly traced over this random ratchet photo I had in my library. And how did it turn out, you ask? Moving on, I decided to actually just delete the app and reinstall it in order to get the free trial offer to reappear, and thankfully that worked. So I started my free trial to get access to everything, and I decided the best thing to do with this would be to go and check out the actual learning portion of this app. So I was stupid and I paused the recording and then didn't unpause it. So it already says 1 out of 7 because I did a part, but we're going to redo it. But this is basically the actual learning part of the app, I guess, because those other parts didn't feel like you're actually learning anything. So let's see how this fares against Simply Draw, which was an app that I felt had some decent tips and learning tricks to it, but there was also a lot of faff in it and things that didn't really make too much sense. So let's see how this fares compared to it. Just like Simply Draw, this app has courses you can take. Lessons where it takes you through things step by step and teaches you how to draw, except this app does it very, very differently. My first impression of this whole thing was that this is great. This goes...
Doesn't make you
really in depth into what you need. While at the same time keeping it simple for beginners. Here it was teaching me the Loomis method, which is a well-known and popular way of drawing a human face, a realistic human face at that. And I knew this was going to be helpful for me. So after tracing around the guide on this guy's face, which is probably actually AI looking at it, but I think that's actually the only AI one there is because the others are all photographs, but disregarding that for the time being. It then moves on to teaching you really good techniques like moving your whole arm, your elbow, your shoulder, and the sort of strokes that you can use and that you can adapt to what will work for you. And I really like how this app is telling you this information in a way that is very open-ended. But then moving on from that, so I do think it's a bit weird that it went from teaching me the Loomis method with drawing people to suddenly teaching me how to draw a circle. Like, shouldn't it have been the other way around, if anything, that, you teach me how to draw a circle first, and then teach me how to do something more complicated like the Loomis method? I feel like this is the wrong way around here. Okay, but who's going to do this every single time they need to draw a circle? Who's going to make this whole grid every single time they need a circle in their artwork? You don't, you just don't. I mean, maybe the point of it that this is trying to teach you more motor control, which I kind of get, but at the same time, I'm just tracing something, It's literally giving me the line to trace. And if it wants me to learn motor control and connect in a circle, then it shouldn't give me this line to trace, because I can just trace the line without actually learning about how this grid lets me connect the lines to make a circle. Never mind, I take everything back I just said. I take it all back, it's making me do it on my own. Okay, how many circles are we drawing? Is this the circle lesson suddenly? I thought we were learning how to draw people. I mean, don't get me wrong, circles are important, but why are we just tracing circles? This shouldn't... I mean, my circles are crap anyway. Don't use your wrist to do circles, kids, because this is awful. I've not got the room right here to use my whole arm to make these circles. I have to use my wrist. So I am having issues right now. What? Are we still going with circles? Oh my god. Circle, circle, circle. I actually do them better when I don't have something to trace over. Oh my god, okay. Wee. This is ridiculous now. I'm rushing this because this is absolutely ridiculous. They're gonna look better if you've not got a guide, because a circle, like, let me just do a circle, okay? There. That would have been perfect if my pencil had glitched out then, but you see what I mean? That without the guide, I am doing better circles than I am with the guides. Like, they're still not perfect, but like they're better, they're neater, they're more circular.
Turn pressure into performance. Share files and get actionable.
Oh, and we're suddenly back to faces. Okay, this is whiplash. This really is whiplash. Why didn't the whole circle thing come before the first human lesson? I don't understand the logic there, but I guess we're back to this again. After the sudden circle detour, we went back to the Loomis method, and it showed me how to set up my circle and lines in proportion with the face. And then it had me do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And I really got sick of this by the end of it. Thing is, I'm not learning anything here. It said do it yourself now, but it's still giving me that guide that is showing up every now and then. You can see it doing it. And as a result, I'm just following the guide. I'm just tracing it. I'm tracing the guide it's given me. And therefore, I'm not actually thinking about the lines and where they need to go or why the lines need to go there. I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm just doing what it's telling me. And that's not learning. That's not how you learn. Tracing doesn't help you learn in this respect. Tracing can help you learn very roughly, but like, it's not helping me know why I'm putting these lines here in particular.
12 seconds later.
Literally every time I say something like that, and then it makes me take it back, because now I am doing it on my own. See, that time I did actually have to think about it. I didn't actually have to think about where each line was going and where the circle connects to the straight lines. I did actually have to think about it then. And this is way better for learning, just doing it with absolutely no guide at all. Like, there's a reference image for me to look at, but there's no lines for me to trace over, and that's how it should be. Why is this guy looking at me weirdly? I'm sorry I'm drawing on your face, mate. It's not my fault. But part of me feels like this would be easier to do if I wasn't drawing over a human. Because, like, that feels like that shouldn't be that, like, this here feels like it shouldn't be that far out, whereas that's what the app wants me to do. So I feel like letting me do this not over a human face would be better for me. Okay, I'm getting a little bit bored of doing this now. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit too critical. I just got really bored doing this, but like... I guess doing something over and over is the way to learn, but God, my attention span was not having that. Oh, not more. Don't make me do more. I don't even know what I'm doing now. A homework assignment? I'm just doing the same thing again. It's the same thing again. It's the same thing again, over and over. Oh my God. I mean, I guess this time there's no reference image for me, so I guess that's a bit better. I was really relieved once I'd finished drawing the circle and the cross over and over, and I was happy to just move on and keep going, learn something new, and not be suddenly stressed out by a pop quiz that was just thrown in my face. I'm sorry, what now we're suddenly doing a pop quiz? Oh no, I wasn't paying attention. Where's the London middle horizontal line of the circle? I'm back in school. This is bringing back bad memories. Well, it's the eyebrows, right? Yeah, choose the next correct statement. Proportions are standard and the same for all people. Well, no, they're not. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I panicked over nothing. After the sudden pop quiz, we moved on to Unit 2, which continued teaching you about the Loomis method. This time now going into actually splitting up your circle into different proportions to do with the face. We once again got whiplash as we were taken from doing the Loomis method into dividing lines. Now, I did struggle with this part, and honestly it was completely my fault, because I just was kind of drawing the lines mindlessly. I wasn't reading what it actually said or how to do it. I was just tracing it because it was giving me something to trace. But I think that's the problem here. Because it was giving me something to trace, I wasn't really thinking that much about it. And as a result, when it came to doing it on my own, I got lost. I ended up lost. I didn't know how to do it. Because you get so carried away with tracing the guides it gives you that you don't actually take the time to learn about what it's telling you and how you're doing it. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I felt, and I ended up actually struggling on these freeform ones. Now, maybe if I'd sat and read what it was telling me in those little pop-ups, then it wouldn't have been an issue, but I got so carried away that my brain just completely skipped over them. So maybe that's something they could work on. Maybe even having it so that you have to pause for a second to read before you're able to just continue and skip all the dialogue. No, I don't like that there's no eraser though, it's only an undo. I'd quite like an eraser, it would be nice. See, like there, that one was fine, but that one wasn't, so I had to undo both in order to go back to that one. Okay, and now it's like, I don't know which one it's unhappy with me about. There's no eraser, so if I need to go back, I can't erase any of these. I have to go back by using the back, you know, the undo, which means I don't know which one was wrong. I don't know which one it was unhappy with. I would still have to go all the way back using the undo, and that just is tedious, and it's going to erase any work that I think is okay. It should let me have an eraser brush so that I can manually erase the parts that I think are wrong and redo them without having to undo parts that are already done and finished. What's it not happy with? I've done it. It's what you wanted me to do. What's it not happy to finish? Now I have to, oh my god, because I don't know what it was unhappy with. To be honest with you guys, I'm getting frustrated and very bored about this as well. Like, maybe that's just me. Usually I'm okay with things, but this is not gripping me, and I'm getting bored to the point and I'm starting to feel tired. I just feel like it's too repetitive. I think that's its issue. At least for me, it's too repetitive. I mean, maybe this would work for other people. Maybe you guys, you think this would work for you, being able to follow guidelines like this, but this just isn't working for me personally. But I don't know if I could fault the app for that, because honestly, the way it's actually teaching you, the tips it's given, you know, dividing things and using different parts of your arm, how to visualize things, compared to simply draw, this is amazing with what it's telling you and teaching you. It has a lot of problems. It definitely has a lot of problems. Still has a subscription problem. It still has a lot of problems in terms of just kind of outright lying to you with like thinking you're playing multiplayer but you're not. And I feel like there's a lot of technical issues with it, such as the pressure sensitivity of my pencil being a bit funky in areas. But all of that you can kind of put down to the first thing that we tried, which was the actual main drawing part of this app. And that main drawing part, yeah, it's the main part of the app and it feels like it's there more for fun than it is teaching you how to draw. But I really like that there is this section of the app. Now, I don't like that it's completely paywalled. Like I said with Simply Draw, I don't think anything to do with learning how to make art should be paywalled, especially since you can just go on YouTube and watch tutorials